Stargirl Season 2, Episode 11. I actually liked this episode. I thought it was pretty good. Like, it had a lot of good emotion and a lot of good dialogue. Even though it wasn't heavy on the action, which I really would appreciate it, it was still a good episode. Like, I don't always need action, but sometimes it's needed. There was like a brief action scene that was kind of watered down for like Sydney and Courtney. I was like, wow, man, they need to go back to like what they were in season 1 and they could throw down. But just wanted to be more of a like sentimental episode, and it was in a lot of ways. Now I did miss the first 5 minutes, so I have no idea what happened there. And I also missed the part where Courtney found Mr. Mid-Niter, but I saw everything else. So, just like I said a couple of episodes ago, Cindy is alive in the shadow world. Duh. They're not gonna get rid of one of their best characters on the show. Like, they will commit like entertainment murder or whatever you call it, you know? So I knew she had to be there. I mean, Dr. Mid-Niter was there, and Eclipso does what he does, then of course she'll be there, because she fell in the portal. She didn't get, like, whatever happened to, like, Violin dude. So, of course, as we know in the last episode, Courtney went in there, too. And I remember when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a dopey episode, kind of like a 1950 weird kind of thing. But it was actually a cool episode. I love the black and white film. Like, it was just beautiful. It made both Courtney and Cindy look luminescent. Like, Courtney really shined with her blonde curly hair, her complexion, the white outfit she was wearing. You know, there's like little darks here and there in her hair. She just looked angelic throughout the entire thing, especially when she escaped. That was a great visual. And I love visuals, in case you haven't noticed on my thumbnails and stuff. And so, like, the episode basically is just Courtney wandering around, like, almost like this purgatory type state, but she's in the shadow world. And so, like, unlike Dr. Mid-Niter, she's not in that area where it's like a bunch of like shadowy swirls and this and that. Now I missed the part where she was at the diner. I remember seeing that in the trailer, but then I remember she at the part where she's at the school, and everybody there just kind of like looking at her, judge in a judgy kind of way, talking about how she's like the new girl, trying to make her feel like sad and everything. And so, like, with her, you know, she's like kind of like, what the world's going on? Where am I? Like, she really plays that off very well, and I really love that. Then, of course, Cindy shows up and thinking Courtney is like some type of illusion, and she goes to fight her. So Courtney does what Courtney does best. She's gonna defend herself, you know? And so they fight until Courtney gets cut. Which, by the way, she got cut, and then they never showed the cut no more. It kind of like disappeared. That's my only like gripe. Except for one other gripe I have in this one episode. Somebody just had to open his mouth and try to play hero. Anyway, so Cindy realizes, oh wait, you're real and everything, and she just stops fighting. Like, she could have killed her straight up there because she hates Courtney, but she doesn't. She just wants somebody to talk to, even though she really hates Courtney and stuff. And they chat, and the dialogue in here was beautiful. It was edgy, the way it needs to be. Like, one thing about the CW, they have that foo-foo, like, speaking, talking, and stuff like that. That gets on my nerves. The whole, oh, you were destined to get hit by lightning, a lot of crap. I hate when they do that, but I love the edginess to this. It reminds me so much of, like, Daredevil from the Netflix show. And so, you know, of course, Sydney's being Sydney's, like, crazy about talking about how she's killed so many, like, versions of Courtney and her dad in this thing, and she loves it and stuff like that. The girl's so twisted. I'm glad they kept some of her edginess from last season. If they would have made her sappy, like they were trying to redeem her earlier, then that would have been, like, terrible. So, of course, Sydney still blames Courtney for putting her there, talking about, you let go of me. Dude, Courtney tried her best, you know what I'm saying? But the girl was getting sucked in. And I love how Courtney defended herself verbally and stuff. Like, she doesn't take no crap from nobody. Like, Burke, whatever her last name is, she might look like a goody two shoes. She might be sweet and adorable looking, and like she has that sweet voice. But like, I love how they. But I mean, Courtney has to get like attitude. She gives you some attitude, and I love that. And so like, there's actually a really cool video, Burke, on YouTube. I think it was. I found she's acting like she's kind of like selling drugs, but instead it's like candy, like legit candy. And the way she's acting is just so hilarious. If I could find that link, I'll like put it below. So whatchamacallit. So Courtney's like standing up for herself, talking about how she put herself there because, you know, the whole eclipse song, she wanted to be evil and blah blah and stuff like that. And you know, and it was nice for Cindy to finally tell Courtney why she is the way she is, because of all the experiments her dad did on her. Like, Cindy is basically a freak, you know what I'm saying? And she's that way because of her father. And so we can tell Cindy has no gripes when it comes to her father. Like, she hates that dude straight up. And so like, Cindy, I think something happens, like Courtney goes to like her own door, and then at some point Cindy actually pulls her back. Like, you can tell Cindy might hate her, but Cindy hates being there alone all by herself. And it's like, it's weird. Her greatest enemy is becoming like her companion in this like shadow world. And so while all that's going on, we get a sweet, touching moment from Beth. And it's none of that crap with the whole parents are divorced. Because I don't care if her parents are getting divorced. We barely know her parents. I just don't care. But she's looking around like Courtney's room. She's getting all sad. And then when she's talking to Jade, like, she legitimately like I thought the girl was gonna cry for real, man. Like, that's how like sentimental she was and stuff. And so that was a really nice touching moment with them. And then so at some point in time, Courtney finds out the Mid-Niter, and they're talking, and it's cool to see like Dr. Mid-Niter. Like, it's cool to see the original JSA. I have no idea what the dude's face or hair and the head looks like underneath that mask, but those two are like talking and stuff like that. I missed a good part of what they were talking about, but then, like, you know, he makes contact with Beth and tells Beth, you know, what's going on. She tells the parents, and then what's his face had to open his mouth. I got a flying thunderbolt. I'm like, shut up, Mike. You shut up. You just be an annoying little brother like you're supposed to be in the comic book. Like, go play Pictionary or something like that. But you stop trying to be a hero. Like, it's getting on my nerves. Him thinking he's all that and can do all that. Like, you just sit your behind down. Be a comic book version of who you were supposed to be. And then so the mom knows how to contact the Shade. And I gotta say, the mom actually has some meaning in this episode. Normally they just like shoehorn her in places she really doesn't need to be about, or somehow she's involved with the villain because the villain has like a crush on her. But season 1, there was some nice cool stuff with her, especially with the icicle dude, him crushing on her, and then her getting mad at Pat for being a sidekick superhero, then mad at her daughter for being a hero and stuff. Like, they actually gave her purpose last season. This season, the mom is just there. Like, she's just like Beast Boy from Titans. She's just there and just shoehorn in place. But they actually have some meaning to have her here this time. So of course, since she's so close to Shade, she contacts him. Shade has confused me. I thought he was a villain from last episode because the dude like literally like resurrected that stone and tricked them and all this other. I'm just like, I'm so confused. But whatever. There's only 2 episodes left. I don't like this season. I still don't like this season. I still do not like this season. And so season 1 will always be great for me. And you know, and so he uses what little strength he has left because the dude is severely weak. So he opens like a portal and he to the shadow world. Oh, now I remember what Courtney and Dr. Mid-Nite talked about. How like Shade helped him out when he lost his daughter and stuff. Dude, is he a villain or not? Like, make up y'all mind. So anyway, he opens the portal and they're ready to jump through. But of course, Courtney has to do what Courtney does best, and that's be a hero. She can't leave Sydney behind. See, that's what a hero is supposed to do. None of that Titans crap. They just go around murdering everybody and trying to set people on fire and stuff. So she runs back and she tries to find Cindy, but it's hard because Eclipso's playing with her, making her go to all these different rooms. And I remember when I saw the little dude, I'm like, yeah, the little dude's creepy, but I want to see the real Eclipso. Don't let this be like a Voldemort kind of crap thing. And that's what it's turned out to be. This big, imposing, bad person, but then you barely see him. And so the little kid was generally, actually, I kind of appreciate him being in this time because if they would have had the big monster Eclipso looking thing, it wouldn't have sounded so sentimental. The little boy does such a great job at acting. This is how you act. And he really gets to Courtney about the whole mom and how Courtney's a burden and how the mom can't do what she needs to do because Courtney's such a burden and everything. And for the first time, see, Eclipso has broken everybody on this show. He has broken every member of the JSA except for Courtney because she always had her staff. And so no matter what, he could never break her. And she was finally broken. Like he finally got to her behind because he brought up the one person who she hates more in the entire world, her father. And the way she feels about Eclipso is the same way she feels about her father. She hates the idea of being abandoned by her father. Hey, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all been there for fathers, deadbeat fathers and everything. And that's why Pat, like, you know, deceiving, not so much deceiving, but not telling her the whole truth about the Eclipso thing and murdering him. Because she sees Pat as, like, her real dad now, you know? Her real dad will never be there, but Pat will always be there for her. You know, he's just the stepdad. But even without the staff, she still didn't let that. She still didn't let that affect her. She still was able to break the hold of Eclipso. Either she's been infused with the power of the staff, or her willpower is just that strong. So she still goes looking for Sydney. And so she finally finds her, and she's being experimented by her dad, of course. And then, so Cindy has some really good moments too to let you know she's not straight up monster. She generally feels bad about what she did to her mom and everything, like murdering her mom and everything. And now that she's older, she realized she made a huge mistake, and she has to relive that by seeing little evil her kill her mama and stuff. And so, like, that was cool to see, but they still gotta keep Cindy bad after this season. If she ends up being good, like, she can just be bad and pop in and out, but just keep her bad. Don't turn her good. I hate that I keep turning villains good. Like, it's on my nerves. Like, this whole Alice thing on like Batwoman, like, just let her be bad or something like that. You know, let her be bad. They can be bad all by themselves. And so after, like, they broke her free of that, they escaped, like, the shadow world. And when Courtney walked through that light, like I said before, she was so angelic and everything. Now, I was surprised they thought the Mid-Nite back. I thought for sure they were going to find some excuse to leave him there. But he's back. So it makes me wonder, what now entails between him and Beth? Is he going to continue being Dr. Mid-Nite? Is she going to be like a new hero? Is she going to be his sidekick? Like, what's going on with that? He'll probably retire. Or they'll probably end up straight up killing him. Most likely he'll probably retire. And so, like, God, how did it end? I forgot. It ended somehow. Oh, Shade, he finally dies. At least I think he died this time. I'm pretty sure he died. He was so weak from, like, keeping that portal open that he just straight up died and everything. Jade is still here. They need to give her a costume. I'm getting tired of her wearing her clothes. She needs a costume. And so, you know, next week seems like a pretty interesting episode. Yolanda finally shows back up. Yolanda showed back up in the dream world, but just so sad and depressed and everything. It was just an illusion. And Rick was just an illusion. So we finally got to see them next week. And I can't wait. Because there's only 2 episodes left. And there better be some good old action. I'll tell you that right now. So it ends with Cindy's all like, so how do we kill Eclipso and everything? And thank God for keeping her bad. So all in all, like I said, this was a pretty cool emotional episode. Like I don't always need action. If you can get me sentimental wise and give me some good old emotion, then I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And so it was nice to finally break Courtney. She's not that perfect. But we found out in the first season she's not that perfect either. But this season she's been kind of perfect. So it's nice to have a flaw. And it's nice to see some humanity come from Sydney. Now I just gotta find out what happened to Artemis. Girl straight up disappeared. Alrighty, well I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.